What's up, guys? Welcome to week 9 of the Chasing Kilos podcast. Today, we will be talking about pre, intra, and post-workout nutrition, which is a pretty debated topic, or at least it used to be. But yeah, we're just going to go over the basics and tell you what you can do to improve your workouts or the results of your workouts through your nutrition.
Sweet.
Yeah. So before we go into that, why don't we talk about so you're not just eating, like, okay, a lot of people like to say, oh, I deserve this cake because I worked out for 500 calories or whatever.
Right.
Calories are not a bad thing.
No.
Calories, yeah. Calories are a unit of measurement, just like Fahrenheit or Celsius or gallons.
It's just exactly. It's just an objective number.
Right. So instead of viewing food as like, oh, you earned it because you worked off that many calories, view it as a tool to help you reach your goals. And then I think then people will start to see it a little better that, this is good. It's not just
right. I feel like so many people have like such a bad relationship with food, and I know it sounds so silly, but like they work out to like undo the damage that they did eating, and that's a terrible cycle they get caught up in.
Yeah.
That leads to an eating disorder in many circumstances, or it can at least.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Almost like kind of punishing yourself for eating.
Yeah, I can see that. So let's start with pre-workout. Some people can't eat too soon before the gym, and that's definitely understandable. How soon do you eat before you work out?
It really depends on my schedule. But like left to my own devices, I like at least an hour. And it really depends on what I ate. An hour is like something kind of light, like a banana or like a sugary carb drink, or like a Pop-Tart or something. But I'm not gonna like eat I don't know, anything like heavy in fat or anything really dense an hour before.
Right.
Even then, I'll feel so sick.
Yeah. I used to have to eat a little while out. I think I've just slowly over time ate closer and closer to me going to the gym. So I think now I can pretty much eat like 20 or 30 before.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Or I mean, if it's at a powerlifting meet, I eat during. So.
Right. It's funny because like there's all these like ideals and perfect things.
Yeah.
Like a meet or a competition, and it's just whatever happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what would you? What type of food? Let's do. What type of food do you think people should eat before a workout?
Yeah, I always I keep it really simple. Carbs and protein. You want as much carbs and protein like for your daily requirements around your workout window as possible, especially carbs. And then that being said, on the flip side, as little fat as possible, just because fat takes more time to digest and it's gonna kind of just sit in your stomach. And that's where like a lot of like people's stomach discomfort comes from when they are actually training. It's just like a poor food choice beforehand.
Yeah, definitely.
But then it also depends like how much time you have. Like if I don't have much time, my carbs might be like Kool-Aid powder and like a protein powder, because like the liquid's going to be absorbed and dissolved quicker into your body.
Yeah, right. It can be a little difficult to find something that's low in fat, that's high in carbs and protein.
Yeah.
What are your choices?
I know it seems silly, and from like a health standpoint, I guess it's not the best. But right now, I'm big on Pop-Tarts before I train, just purely because like most of the time I'm training right after work. Taking clients, I don't have like time to sit and eat like a big intense meal or anything. So I'll just like a package of Pop-Tarts, and like bear in mind that this is like noon. I'll eat the Pop-Tarts at like 11 and I'll train at noon, but I've already got like another decent meal in me before that at like 8 or 9. So that's not all I've eaten before training.
Yeah, right. actually like, yeah, I mean, like you said, I like bananas, but I think my best workouts have been after a Chex Mix.
I love Chex Mix. Well, same thing. There's your carbs right there.
Yeah. Oh, salt pre-workout.
Oh
I
yeah,
highly recommend that.
yeah. You know what? That's something that I don't utilize enough of. Like I would say, like my para workout, like around the workout window, big three are like a protein powder, carb powder, and caffeine.
Yeah.
Um, but I regret not using more like salt.
I've been using it pretty regularly for a little while now, and pretty much what it does. So salt is an electrolyte. So what that means is it helps um, your body fire out. So your neurons run on electricity pretty much. That's why, or your body does. That's why they shock you back to life when you die.
Yeah,
But so salt helps with those connections. So it's there for better, um, what do you call muscle efficiency, and it would also keep you a little more hydrated.
yeah,
That's
definitely.
why Gatorade works, just because it has a higher salt content or sodium content than other drinks. So salt pre-workout is definitely a good idea. I do notice it now when I don't have a little salt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had a cup noodle ramen before my last meet.
Oh, that's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that did me pretty well.
Well, also just like I gotta guess more for powerlifting, but like from a water retention standpoint,
Yeah.
getting a little bit of a bloat before
Yeah.
workouts probably feels pretty good.
Yeah, my knee sleeves and my belt have never felt that tight.
Oh yeah, I can't
Yeah.
even imagine.
But we'll go over that in another episode. Anything else for pre-workout?
Like a pre-workout powder. I've been like very hesitant to start taking those, just because I'm super sensitive to caffeine. Um,
Yeah.
it just gets me like anxious, and like it's not worth the I want to say risks, but the negative effects. But recently, I've been doing a little bit better on it. So I've been taking like a pre-workout powder, and I think that's a good idea. I mean, caffeine is just like there's so much research it works, and it doesn't have to be like an actual pre-workout powder. A cup of black coffee, totally
Yeah.
fine, but yeah, I think that I would argue that from like a scientific and just effects based method, you can't go wrong with caffeine before workout. You'd get like the most benefit from that.
Right. I heard from a few different studies and sources that timing should be around an hour before.
Yeah, I've heard 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like I find myself I'll take it like right before,
Yeah. Same.
just out of habit, and you like mentally think that you're like I don't know, I feel it immediately. Obviously that's just like a placebo effect, but
Yeah.
I could do a better job of timing that.
Right. Um, I actually don't use pre-workouts anymore. Like, I kind of took myself away from caffeine. I still have tea, but I don't really go anything into like like anything over 100 milligrams, or I don't even know what tea is, like 40.
Yeah, I think tea's like 25 to 50 depending on like black tea I think is way stronger.
Right, right, right. But yeah, I really don't go anything above that. Um, but you don't have to spend a lot on pre-workout. Coffee's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, what should they look out for if they are looking for a pre-workout though?
Um I mean it's tricky because like you never really know what's in it anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
And personally like what I'm looking for in a pre-workout is the caffeine, purely because
Yeah.
like that's where all the research is at.
Yep.
That's proven to work. So if it
Yep.
doesn't have caffeine in it, I don't want it.
Right.
Just because I think it's not worth. Then you're playing a guessing game of why it's working or if it's working
Right.
or evil effect. So I want caffeine. And then other than that, for me, I forget what the actual ingredients are, but there's a list of a few, and I can look them up that kind of like level out that like energetic effect. And that really helps me a ton. I
So
can
you're
look.
not
What's that?
crashing. So you're not crashing like.
Yeah, and for me, it's not even really like the crash at the end so much as like it's almost like I just get that restless, like racing, anxious
Oh,
feeling
okay, I see.
between
Like
like sets, and you know what I
like
mean?
pretty much you're overstimulated.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I find that some of the pre-workouts that I'll take have something in it that keeps that from happening, at least mentally.
Yeah.
Like the physical effects, but nothing too crazy.
Right. What are your thoughts on beta alanine? A lot of people like that because it makes them like feel their pre-workout better just from the tingling.
Right. Like honestly, so if I made supplements, I'd put beta alanine in everything. Just because people want to feel that something's happening.
Right.
But like just because you're feeling something doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing.
Right.
Slap you in the face. You feel
Yeah, exactly.
anything. And I mean, it might deliver more of like a pump, but for my goals, it's just not applicable at all.
Right.
To be
Same.
totally honest with you, I don't think I'm a fan of beta alanine at all. I just don't think that it's that beneficial.
Yeah.
I think it's very much, obviously, like you said, just to get that feeling. So people think they're like, oh yeah, like I paid for this and it's working.
Yeah. What's your go-to pre-workout then?
This is pathetic, but is there a vitamin shop in Mass? There is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I never went to one until I moved to New Hampshire, but they have like the 25, 50, 75% off rack.
Okay.
And I just go to the 75% off rack.
Nice.
And I'll like see if there's something I like there, but usually it's like the Optimum Nutrition.
Yeah.
Or I think it's BPI. But
Oh yeah, BPI is good stuff sometimes.
right. It's more like if there's caffeine in it and it doesn't taste
Yeah.
good, I'm okay with it.
BPI is actually a good cheap brand.
Agreed. I think them and Optimum Nutrition are kind of like the leaders of
Yeah.
pretty generic. I guess Dymatize for whey, but like cheaper but like quality.
Yeah. Actually, my favorite is Bang.
Oh, everyone I lift with, literally
Yeah.
everyone I lift
Yeah.
with will kill you if you say you don't like the Bang.
Have you tried it?
Not even a sip. I'm sure they're
Okay.
delicious. I think
Yeah.
the only reason is you buy them by the can, correct? You can't.
Right. They do have the powder, but I've only seen that online, so I haven't tried that. But it is by the can, so it can be a little more expensive.
Right.
I think at Vitamin Shop it's like $2 a can.
That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, it's cheaper than a can of Monster.
Like if you save it for, which I think people should do anyways, but if you save like those high doses of caffeine for like a heavier session, it's not like
Right. Yeah. I only drink Bang for meats.
Yeah.
The only downside is that it's carbonated, but
yeah. See,
I
for
mean,
me, I love the carbonation. It doesn't bother me.
oh yeah.
Love carbonation. Like I'll drink seltzer all day. But I have a lot of people in my life who can't stand that.
Yeah, I have trouble burping when I'm working out.
Yeah, or they get like bloated, or they feel sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I take in too much air.
When you drink just hot.
No, before I lift.
Oh.
Yeah. I need one of those baby bottles with the vent.
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, it's good. I can drink the whole thing and there's no jitters.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just a very focused feeling. Like the best way I describe it is like a very mild liquid Adderall.
Yeah. Okay. So that's, I guess, a good way to compare.
Yeah.
Once again, I remember that ingredient I was talking about. Like that leveling off effect. And
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, and I like to have like a little bit of salt too pre-workout, but
yeah.
What about intra-workout? A lot of people are into like the carb drinks or whatever.
I'm pretty big into the carb drinks for two reasons. One, like lately my sessions have been a lot longer.
Yeah.
Like so, for example, my last day of the week training session can like creep up on 3 hours just because of the amount of volume and like there's a lot of rest.
Right.
If I don't have carbs during, I'll start to crash like 2.5 hours in. So I think that it's good for that. I don't think everybody needs to take it. I think if your workouts are under 45 minutes, unless you need carbs, don't do it. You need carbs during your day. I mean, like there's research that shows that like those carbs aren't going to be really put to use drinking in the moment until about like 2 hours into your session, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it takes a little while for you to digest.
Right. Can you hear all that noise?
Was that Gunner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it does take a little while for your stomach just to digest things, but it's good for whether it's like a what do you call placebo or if it actually works. I mean, it's still good. Sometimes I feel a little lightheaded in my exercises, and if I do eat something, then I do feel better, even if it's not directly affecting me right at that moment.
Right. I mean, regardless, like, so I guess I take back what I said in the sense of if your workouts aren't over 45 minutes, don't drink it. Like, if you hadn't had any food, drink
Yeah,
coffee. Workout.
right.
I had a client come in the other day, and she normally doesn't train early in the morning with me. She was like 6 p.m. And I think we did like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. And she hadn't eaten, and we did the same stuff that we normally do, and we got halfway through, and she had to sit down. She thought she was going to throw up.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just really low blood sugar. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, I actually don't eat anything or drink anything in my workouts besides water.
Does it bother your stomach, or you just don't?
No, I just get. I mean, I don't know. I just get through it.
So like what I'll normally do for a session is I'll put like 2 scoops of protein, and like a couple servings of like a powdered Kool-Aid or another carb
Mhm.
powder, and I'll mix it up and I'll like sip it probably like a third of it during the session,
Yeah,
and then I'll drink the rest of it like immediately after. So it's almost like I'm just starting my post-workout shake a little early.
right, exactly.
It's the same.
Um, yeah, I used to get chips when there was a Tedeschi's across the street from the gym, but they closed.
I remember that.
Yeah, I just walk around the gym with a bag of chips.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for intra-workout nutrition?
No, I mean, like other people use different things other than like a carb powder. Like I've had buddies. I think I don't use sometimes. So you'll like snack on like Sour Patch Kids or something.
If I have it, then yeah, but I wouldn't go out to like buy it just for that.
Right. I mean, personally, I don't like to like. I can't eat things. Like, even
Yeah,
if it's the same amount of carbs, the same amount of calories, the same like,
right.
I can't eat during my workout. I'll feel so sick.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. All right, what about post-workout? There's a lot. I don't know if people still believe in the anabolic window that you have to eat 30 minutes. Actually, I think they do. I've seen people mix up their shakes in the locker room and stuff.
It's weird because like I think general population and most people, yeah, 100% still like swear by that anabolic window. And then also seen research by like some pretty high level like nutrition scientists that says that like it doesn't really matter,
Right,
or it's not as like short as you would think.
right.
That 30-minute window might be more like 2 hours.
Yeah,
But I feel like what we're missing is that two things. So say you train at like in the afternoon, which most people do after work. I mean, if you're waiting 2 hours after you train to eat, you're probably not getting enough food anyways. It's not about the timing of the food. It's just that you're not getting enough if it's a heavier session.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
So like I think of it as like food kickstarts the recovery process. So the faster
right,
you kind of start that,
right.
I don't see an issue with it.
Um, yeah, it usually takes me like a little while to. I think my body needs to calm down after a workout, and then I start to get hungry.
Well, you are like in that like fight or flight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like your central nervous system's just ready to rock, and like you're not supposed to be hungry when that's happening.
Yeah. Right.
Years ago, if you had to fight a saber-toothed tiger, you didn't want to be like kind of hungry, like while you're doing that. You know what I mean?
Let me take a bite out of you real quick.
Right. The distraction.
Yeah. All right. What about like so pretty much just eat when you're hungry after a workout, but not too late.
Not too no fat. Or okay, excuse me. Not no fat. As little fat as your diet or your daily requirements allow.
Why is that?
So fat kind of like slows down the digestion process.
Oh, right, right, right.
So like before you don't want it because so if you're gonna eat like say you eat 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, this is just an example,
Yeah.
with your carbs right before workout.
Right.
Your carbs, which are normally fast, like digesting, and quickly available to your body to use as energy, are not going to be because they were coupled with that fat heavy meal. So it slows down the entire digestion process. So before you don't want it because you'll get like discomfort and that
Right.
readily available. But then after you don't want it because if that anabolic window is super important, it's going to slow down the delivery of those nutrients to your muscles.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
What's
sorry,
that?
go ahead.
I was going to say, that being said, like I have to eat a lot of fat just with my macros right now.
Yeah.
So I'll eat fat after my workout. It's not the end of the world.
What do you recommend for most people for post-workout? Like what do you think that their post-workout should be comprised of? Do you think people are good with just their protein shakes, or?
I like a protein shake with a little bit of carbs.
Yeah.
Once again, just fast digesting.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's a liquid means that it's gonna be more readily available quicker.
Right.
And if you do like you're saying, like your stomach's not ready to roll right after.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely a good way to get that food.
Definitely. Did you see the myth that, or I don't know, but I didn't read enough into it. The idea that we can only absorb X amount of protein
Yeah.
at a time.
So I know that that's been busted, and
Yeah.
I'll send you the link to like I think Chris Beardsley, who does like a lot of the the research for like the NSCA and stuff like that. He published something busting that, but I'll have to dig it up and find it.
Right. Okay.
Basically, once again, it comes down to like the total amount that you get in during the day, not like in a certain meal.
Right. Yeah. All right. So just throw that out the window, guys.
Absolutely. I feel like that just makes people's days harder too. Is like if you're like, oh, I need 200 grams of protein, but I can't get that much at each meal.
Right.
It's gonna make it so much more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually think that, or the few times that I've noticed that I had like a high carb and high sodium meal after my workout, I got a post-workout pump.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I believe it was a bag of fries from Five Guys.
Nice. You'll hopefully get sponsored by them now.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, so carbs are good post-workout. You need that energy to refuel you for the rest of your day. Obviously, you need protein.
Right. And then also just from like depending on how much volume you did, like if it's more of like a bodybuilding session, sets of 10, whatever, just restoring like glycogen levels, stuff like that.
Right.
That's obviously important from like a muscle building standpoint.
Right. But yeah, you don't need, I mean, you're better off getting a full meal than just drinking a protein shake.
Agreed. I think in any scenario,
yeah,
that's pretty much the case.
Right. So one of the things that kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say annoys me, but I guess annoys me that the public thinks this way or has been fed this information is that a protein shake is like another supplement, different from eating chicken or eating steak or tofu.
It's a different delivery method.
Right.
But it's not another, like protein is protein.
Yes.
Well, same thing too. And here's my pet peeve is like a women's protein.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Or like women's anything.
Right. Like you're so I get it when it's like a women's multivitamin because like women do have certain
right
micronutrients that they need, more so than men. But protein is protein.
Yeah.
Like, there's not women's carbohydrates.
Right.
Why do we?
Yeah.
The answer is obviously marketing, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't know that blows my mind.
Yeah, it's just protein. It's not going to make you huge.
No, right. I think that's another thing that pisses me off about the women's protein thing too. Is it's almost as if like the subliminal message is like, "Oh, don't worry, like this won't make you bulky like the other stuff," you know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Die.
Yeah. No, yeah, protein is protein. You're not gonna. Some people think that if you're not exercising well, drinking protein shakes, then you'll get fat. I mean, that's kind of true because it's just of excess calories.
Right. I mean, it's the same story as if you're not exercising, you're eating carbs or.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, for the most part. No,
yeah.
calories are calories. You know what I mean?
Right. One scoop of protein is usually the same amount as you would get from like a chicken breast.
Except obviously less like micronutrients.
Yeah.
But then I think the only arguable reason to do protein powder is like per scoop is more cost effective
Yes.
and also just obviously simple.
Yeah. Time wise, it's great if you need to just leave the house in a hurry.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, yeah, definitely a lot easier. Obviously, a scoop of protein is a lot easier to drink than an entire chicken breast.
Yes. Yes. Some people blend those things up though. I don't know
I've
if you,
seen that. Yep.
that's
I'd
disgusting.
rather not drink it. I'd still rather drink my protein.
Protein powder, once again, is so cheap
Yeah.
that you have no excuse to blend up chicken breasts.
I
None.
have. uh, I have this note on my phone for the prices at Costco.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to put it on the screen, but pretty much the most expensive protein at Costco is the organic protein, and that
Okay.
comes out to 5.2 cents per gram of protein.
5.2 cents. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 20 grams is about like a typical serving size. So that's like $1 ish, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you're probably not going to get food for that cheap.
No, no, definitely. Where are you going to get like a chicken breast for
Yeah,
$1?
exactly. Uh, so yeah, it's a good cheap alternative. It's quick, easy. Yeah.
I'm trying to think like there's really not much else. Like carbs, protein, caffeine, salt.
Yeah, it's really easy, guys. It all just boils down to a mixture of those three things or
I think
four things.
RP strength or RP, like the Renaissance, the Peer
Oh, yeah,
Decision,
yeah, yeah.
they just put out a post and they talked about like the supplements that you should take. And it's basically those three: carbs or powdered carbs, protein, caffeine. And I think they added crap, what was the other one? Creatine. Like just
Right,
from like what has been studied and what works
right.
standpoint.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was trying to get into. What are your thoughts on creatine and
Tell
all?
everybody to take it. Just because there's so much science out there supporting what it does. We understand it so much. There's cognitive benefits. And it's so cheap that like if it doesn't work for you, there are people who aren't like responders and don't get as like drastic results. And I'm one of them, but it's still so cheap that like I don't know if even like trace amounts of the benefits that they say are happening,
Yeah,
take it. You know.
yeah. No, it is very cheap. There's been a ton of new research that kind of contradicts some of the old stuff, um, but it does show that it has benefits for everyone, regardless of your goals.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff talking about even for like children and
Oh
elderly. Like
wow.
I said, like more
Yeah.
like cognitive standpoint, but
Right.
yeah,
Right. Right. And for those of you worried about it bringing on water weight,
that oh, that upsets me.
yeah, it's not take. All right, the way that creatine works is that it's not taking in more water. It's taking in the water that's already or around your muscle cells.
Right,
So
it's
what it
pulling it.
does, yeah, it literally like if you're imagine your muscle as a sponge, it literally just lets you absorb more into it, so you have a bigger or yeah, pretty much a bigger muscle.
Right, and so by extension, it literally means that your muscles are going to look bigger.
Yeah,
I don't understand where that like fear came from.
right,
That like creatine makes you gain water weight,
right.
which I mean, hey, if water weight means my muscles look bigger,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Um, I could be wrong, but I believe I read it somewhere that it actually takes just your the water that's already in your body. So that's why you could feel a little more thirsty if you're just starting it.
Right, like so, and then that's always been my belief and understanding is like so that's why you want to drink more when you're
Right,
taking protein because that water that was in your body is being pulled into the muscle cell. So
right.
now more for like the general body is required.
Yeah.
That's why you'll get like weird cramps and stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen anyone or had yourself like the creatine cramps, but they are terrible.
Oh, really?
I've seen grown men like curled up on the floor bawling, just because like your muscles just lock up. I mean, this
Yeah.
is like combined with being dehydrated. So.
Right. Right. No, the one time I had something like that was in college. We went to my friend had a Cape house, and then we brought a bottle of creatine just for everyone to share.
Nice.
We went there for a weekend, and then one of my friends who doesn't work out regularly, he was taking it, and then he was like, "Man, I got a headache." And then I didn't realize till afterwards because we were drinking all day, and
Just
then not
right?
yeah, and not drinking water, and then he's taking creatine as well.
Right. Like that'll dehydrate you very quickly. But once
Yeah,
again, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
right.
Water anyways. You're just gonna have to drink a little bit more.
Yeah. Um, and I believe that it takes a while for you to fully absorb creatine into your muscles. So the timing doesn't really matter. I just like to take mine at night.
Yeah, that's the research that I've seen is it
Yeah.
literally does not matter. People say before you work out, after you work out, doesn't matter because you want like a base level in your body at all times.
Right.
That it's not like you're trying to spike it for a
Right.
certain thing. So yeah, no, I agree with that strongly.
Yeah. And it's a myth that creatine gives you more energy. It technically, biologically gives you more energy, but down to the molecular level, not the way that caffeine gives you more energy.
And that's the thing is, like as humans, we don't feel things on the molecular level.
Right.
So you're not going to feel creatine.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of clients that I have that will start taking it. They'll come to me 2 days later and they're like, oh, like I don't feel anything. That's okay. But once again, I think that's like the beta alanine effect that we've created with supplements is
Yeah.
everyone thinks they should feel something immediately.
Yeah. The instant gratification lifestyle.
Right, right.
But yeah, if you just need a few days or to really build it up into your body when you first take it.
Yeah.
But after that, just take it every day like a vitamin, and you should be fine.
Right.
So that's pretty much all we got for pre, intra, and post-workout nutrition. Matt, do you have anything else to add to it?
No, I think that's it. Once again, like I hope we answered all the questions, and I hope it's not. I don't want to say disappointing, but like
Right.
anticlimactic. But there's really not that much to it.
It's a lot simpler than you guys think.
Right, and it's a lot. But to be fair, it's a lot simpler than other like companies and like what Instagram marketing wants you to think. So it's not like your own fault for thinking that. But
right. Definitely. So yeah, it's definitely you don't need to buy all these fancy supplements and stuff. Just down to the basics, you'll be good.
Right.
But yeah, that's all we got for today. If you have any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you have any question or if you have any ideas for next week, please leave that down below as well. If you learned something, please share it. If you did not, please share it so someone else could learn something. And as always, you can reach us on Instagram and Facebook at Chasing Strength and at Kilos and Closings. We will see you next week, guys.